This is called A Travel to Flamenco's World. Lizette is a graduate in political science and journalism. She's a resident of Lauderhill for the last 7 years. Tonight, she's going to take us to the historic journey of the flamenco dance. It's project number 2 from the Competent Communicators Manual, and as I said, it's called A Travel to Flamenco's World. Please help me welcome Lizette.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to tell you about flamenco. I'm dividing my speech in 3 parts. One is, what is flamenco? Then we're going to talk about the origins of flamenco. And next, we're going to talk about duende, D-L, troll, D-U-E-N-D. Okay, what is flamenco? Flamenco is an art. It's a dance. It's a musical style that can be expressed by dance, playing guitar, or singing. Many people doesn't know that flamenco has many styles, depending on the emotions that want to be expressed. So if it's something sad, it is called the fandangos or seguirillas. And if it's something happy, you will be hearing rumba or alegrías flamencas. Okay, so all depends in the emotion. Flamenco is originally from Spain, but nowadays it is practiced around the world. You can see a Japanese lady dancing perfectly. So in 2010, UNESCO declared flamenco as cultural heritage of humanity. Okay, what is the origin of flamenco? To talk about the origin of flamenco, we need to go to Spain, but not just the whole country, like looks like this, but the south. In the south of the country, there is a state called Andalusia, this region of Andalusia. So from there is where flamenco is born or originated. In this region live many groups of people that left a legacy, a cultural legacy, which were the Romans, the Phoenicians, Visigoths. But a group that is important to mention right now are the Arabs, the Muslims. The Muslims ruled the region from the year 700 to 1492. So the Arabs were the ones making the rules over there. If you travel to Spain and if you go to the south, you can see the legacy even in the architecture. You can see arches in the windows. You can see in the roofs, like the Arabic forms. So you see the legacy of the Arabs. Sorry. In the architecture. But in the same way that in the architecture, in the culture, imagine 700 years that they were making rules for that region. So, for example, the Mosahara is a sing poetry that was born over there. And it was a mix of the Arabic culture and what they had over there, the residents of Andalusia. Another group that had Another group that was important in flamenco were the Jews. The Jews live in the region too, and again, if you go and visit there, you will see many important temples in the area of the Jews. And one example of the contribution is a prayer named Koini Dre. This prayer is found in a style of flamenco that is called seguirillas, this prayer. Okay, another group that is very important to mention in the history of flamenco are the gypsies. The gypsies came from the north of India. So India looks like this. In the north there is a region called Punjab. The gypsies came from the Punjab. They traveled to Europe. They got into Spain in the year of 1477. They traveled to Spain, but they liked the south. They like the south because of the weather and because they identify themselves with the culture that they had over there. Okay, this is something important that people should know. two things. One, flamenco is born in the poor people of Andalusia. It's part of the people that hard work in the fields, in the mines, were in jails, galeras were called. Gypsies had to do with that. So the royalty, the wealthy families didn't have to do with this. Why? Because the royalty wanted to be more European. They wanted to sing like Italians, they wanted to talk like French, but the people was mixing all this legacy that we are talking about. And they started singing about the work in the fields, about love, about discrimination, and these are the first songs of flamenco. The gypsies are the last ingredient that the mix needed for the flamenco to born. But some people says flamenco is gypsy, and it's not. Flamenco, the gypsies had to do with that, but they are not the responsible. Because in other countries where gypsies live, they didn't play flamenco, just in Andalusia. Okay? Is that clear? So, yes, I'm sorry. Sorry. Flamenco, as I told you before, expresses emotions and has different styles depending on the emotion. And this is a characteristic that had the region of Punjab. They did that with the music. Okay, now, and last but not least, I would like to tell you about the duende, D-U-E-N-D-E, the troll, the elf. What is it? In flamenco, it is a sensation that you experience. It can be experienced by the person that is dancing or the person that is watching a show of flamenco. It's like a happiness that you feel, or it's like tears are coming through your cheeks. So there is common or popular to hear the expression having duende, or they are singing or playing with duende. It is defined as a mysterious and ineffable charm, something that everybody feels, but no one can define. That is the duende. So guys, I hope you have learned something from this presentation. I hope that you go and watch a flamenco show, and hopefully you have some duende.
I was hoping you'd show us a few, Anybody see the Fockers? Remember Justin Fockers played that part where he was dancing with them? Anyway, that was wonderful.